with some more key information here pertaining to earthquake activity, specifically here in the United States. And I think that this affects the New Madrid all the way through the southeast here, the East Coast. Everyone that felt the last good quake, the 5.9 that hit, that had cracked the monument in Washington, had damaged structures like you see right here, this cathedral took damage. That was minimal. If there was a 7-pointer or greater that hit within this region, a lot of different people would be feeling it. And there's just so many more people in these areas. It's, once you get to the Mississippi River, to the east of it, that's where you see the biggest population here in the United States, is in all those areas concentrated. Now, here recently, USGS and other organizations came out and quietly slid out these projected maps and graphs, and I covered that in the last big earthquake video, talking about how there were certain areas affected by fracking that you could see in those areas that it was definitely the fracking that was causing the earthquake activity. Other areas that didn't have any fracking going on, like Southern California, that is known for its fault activity and things like that, they were listed on there. They want to keep Yellowstone always quiet, but New Madrid they had as still being active. Now, they didn't have Virginia, D.C., anything like that specifically, but they had the New Madrid seismic zone on there. And here, just in the past few weeks and months, there have been little 1s, 2s, and 3s popping up all over the place, from Alabama, Arkansas, across Tennessee, from the west side to the east side of Tennessee, in Kentucky. There was just, I think, a 3.8 that struck in Kentucky here recently, one of the bigger quakes that struck here in a while. And it was down there right by the bend, just north of the New Madrid keyhole. Things to pay attention to. What they're saying with this latest information is that what they thought was this huge, thick North American plate in this area isn't as thick as they thought. Apparently, with the newer technology, they're able to look through the earth and they're seeing that, well, I can guarantee you that there's areas that are hollow. And they're saying that because there is this space in there, that fragments are breaking off and then falling, thinning out that area of the mantle, and then causing it to catch, slip, or whatever to cause or trigger an earthquake. They could happen at any time. Now, they did some 3D mapping of this, and that's basically what they're saying, is that it revealed the mantle has a varied thickness, and a lot of them were shocked and surprised because a lot of people thought that it was super thick, forever. And now they're seeing that it actually is not. Or it's not as thick as they thought. And it shows that it's very unstable and uneven in certain areas. And it's scarred by ancient rifting. So other fragments that are loose are going to continue to fall and be pulled down by gravity. You see? And they say that that's when magma and other places will fill in the void until it cools to form new rock. But if there's no magma, or if it's not deep enough for that, you're talking about hollow areas inside the earth, basically like any other fault, most of them going at an angle, but this literally going over top of one another here. And the old Craton plate, that's a whole nother story. Where it runs, it cuts right down around through the bottom of Tennessee, the top of Alabama, and all that, all the way through Arkansas, I think through Oklahoma, right there at the top of New Mexico and Arizona, and then cuts up around by Utah and all that toward the Pacific Northwest. And that too sits underneath there. So, and that's the ancient plate. A lot of activity, obviously going on inside the planet, but new information, always key, and this goes to show that here in the New Madrid region, this whole East Coast, what they thought was a super thick North American plate seems to be a lot thinner, and there's a lot more probability here for other quakes. Matter of fact, they say expect them to continue in these areas. So, for what it's worth, that's the latest. I'll leave a link. It's been Dabu 7. Make sure to tune in to Real Talk Live this Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Dabu 777. Peace.